Hey guys, Nikki here. I'm actually currently working on snippets for. I would normally go, this is my mother's murder in a minute because I'm investigating my mom's cold case, right? My mom was shot and killed right after I went to bed on July 8th, 1993. I had kissed my mom goodnight at 11 o'clock. I remember wrapping my arms around her and kissing the side of her neck. She asked me if I walked the dog. I lied. She asked me if I brushed my teeth. I lied again. And I went to bed. It was around 11 o'clock. It was summertime. Never thought, never knew, never, I was 10 years old, never knew that that would be the last time I actually saw my mom. It was around 2 a.m., 3 hours later, that I was woken by Sedona Police Department by a flashlight because the fucking cop couldn't find the light switch. And I was wakened by a flashlight, and still it's 29 years later, and I'm almost 40 now, and I can't have flashlights shined at me. I have borderline PTSD because of me I did not see my mother murdered, but I have what the doctors call borderline PTSD because I relive the aftermath of it every day of my life. It's been 29 years almost, and I could walk you through that whole walking out of that house for the last time. Like, the cop did his best to shield my eyes, and I saw all the lights were on. It was really bright. I saw Russell in the living room, and there was at least two police officers standing over him, and he was sitting on the couch, and he had his head in his hands, and I remember him rocking, and I remember there was blood on his hands, or what I thought was blood at the time. I don't know. I don't know. And the cop tried to shield me from that and just hustled me out, and he put me in the squad car. And I sat in that squad car with my little sister for a while, and then they put the perpetrator, the man that had just murdered my mother an hour earlier, in the cop car with me and my sister, his daughter. This was not my dad. And after the fact, 30 years later, I remember that car ride as a 10-year-old, and I remember him hugging and kissing on me and telling me, really, like, I didn't understand why he was crying at the time because nobody told me my mom was dead. And I just remember, I want to keep the family together. I love you. A lot of I love yous. It was really weird because I didn't know what was going on. They had told me that my mom and Russell got into a fight, and my mom went to Aunt Kay's, which was believable. It wasn't until like 2 days later that they sat me down. I don't know how many days later. I have no concept of time at that time, but I know that it was a significant amount of time before they sat me down and they told me that my mom was dead. And not only did they tell me that they sat us down, me and my sister, and like I'm assuming was like a circle full of psychiatrists and doctors, and they sat us down, and they didn't have any of the doctors or anybody else tell me. They had Russell tell me that my mom was gone. And I remember that day like it was yesterday too. It was, like I said, a circle. Like in school, you're all in a circle. And I remember my sister being on the floor in this circle because she was only 3, and she had blocks, and she was playing with blocks, and I didn't know what was going on. And that's when Russell told me that my mother was dead. And I just can't believe that they had him tell me when they knew at that time that there was an active investigation into him killing her. So that blows me away now that I'm an adult and I look back at that. I'm like, how did they let that happen? How did they let the suspect tell a child? I'm like forever damaged. Beyond words. And I'm telling you this now. And I'm doing a live video now because if you look at my page, it's mostly all about my mom's cold case. And like, this has been going on for this will be 29 years this year. 28 and a half years. He's walked free after killing her in a fit of jealous rage. She was not happy, and that's obvious. They make it obvious in this case file that now I'm reading and making TikToks on because I'm literally running out of pictures of my mom. And like important paperwork, like her death certificate and the autopsy report, and I have TikToks and all of that, and like explaining like this was homicide. Look, it says homicide. Why has he never spent a day in jail? I'm running out of that kind of stuff, guys. This is how long this has been going on. So now that I'm starting to like green screen his interviews, and now I'm blasting his lies, and that's what I've been doing today. I've been working hard at this, and I'm reading his I've only read this, like his interrogation, and I've only read it several times because it's all lies, and it's hard for me because I waited until I was an adult, kind of like I was a kid when this happened, and I assumed that it would just be solved. I assumed that somebody would care enough to put him in jail. The cops would do something. Something would happen one day, right? 2000, this happened in 93. 2000 comes, I graduate high school. Nothing's happened. I'm 18, 19. I don't know what to do. I don't do anything. My aunt is the one that's me right now. Her older sister's dead, and she's pursuing this. So I kind of like thought my aunt was going to get something done because she had, at the time, people in law enforcement. She was going to. 2005 comes. 2010, nothing. 2015, nothing. Roll around. It is now 2020. COVID's hit. I'm a small business owner. I'm in a relationship. I blocked out a lot of this. I don't think about it. I block it out. And then in 2020, the first week of July, I get a call from my sister telling me that they reopened the investigation and they want to talk to her dad. And I was like, oh my God, finally, something's gonna happen. They're investigating it. Fucking A right? Nothing happens, guys. They don't even call me to tell me that they're investigating. Dude, I'm the oldest sibling. I was... There were 4 people in that house that night. One was dead. The other one's 3-year-old. The other one's a suspect. The other one's 10. I'm a pretty good person to talk to, right? Nobody talks to me. Nobody talks to my dad. 2020, I find out that they're investigating this because they want my sister to confront her dad. Okay, great. Get my sister on board. Have her set her dad on fire. I'm sure she's got issues galore with her dad. I don't want to talk to my sister about it. We're toxic. I have my boyfriend talk to her about it. I don't hear back. The end of July, her ex-husband contacted me and said that the police had contacted him. They're looking for Kay. It's my sister. And they want to talk to Russell. I'm like, okay, yeah, I know. She had called. She had let me know. And he was like, yeah, she kind of fell off the grid. Have they called you? Which is not uncommon for my sister to just disappear. And this is like traumatic. I'm sure that the cops like cornered her into agreeing to this. I'm sure she doesn't want to have anything to do with this. Like, she's trying to wash her hands of it. Kind of like I did too. I didn't want to deal with this. This is a lot. It's something that happened to you as a kid. You don't really want to pick up the torch and read and look at the odd. You don't want to do that. It's not something you want to do. So I'm sure my sister ran from it, didn't want to deal with it. Long story short, end of July comes around, 2020. I have to hear about it from my sister's ex-husband. Okay, he asked me if they called me. No, he gave me their contact info. I take it. And I bite myself every day for not getting on the fucking phone and calling them as soon as I had that contact info at the end of July 2020. Because August 2020, nothing. September 2020, nothing from the cops. October 2020, nothing from the cops. Okay, now it's November 2020. And it's like Thanksgiving. And I think about my mom a lot. And I'm like, what's going on with my mom's case? It's Thanksgiving. Are they fucking looking into it? And so finally I get that contact info out, right? And I look and I send the email to the detective. I could get all that stuff out for you too. I could read verbatim my conversations, very brief, with these detectives that don't want to talk to me. Mind you, I'm the last person besides the suspect to see my mother before she died. I could give you a hint on her state of mind. My father was the last person to talk on the phone with my mother before she was killed. Don't want to talk to my dad. Why? This goes so deep. Like, the more I research this, like, this goes so deep. It's not just the police fucking up. It's like the Yavapai District's Attorney's Office is, like, purposely putting this under. So anyway, back up, Nikki. I know, I'm upset. Thank you for everybody that's watching and supporting. This sucks. It's not fun to talk about your mother's murder. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning and I can't sleep because I'm just reading his lies and it's got me worked up, right? I've dropped 2 TikToks on his lies and I'm like, you know what? I can't even do another one. I'm just going to do a live video and just rant because I'm so upset. The cops, the detectives basically shrugged me off in November. And the detective that I originally had the contact info, right, that I had just gotten in July from my sister's ex, I had just gotten this contact info. By November, that detective's already been re-signed. My mom's case, which is 28 years old right now, is being hot potato in the Sedona Police Department, which is a small town in Arizona, Ritzy. There should be no reason why a cold case murder investigation should be passing hands from detective to detective like that, first of all. So the first detective, which I have this cocksucker's, that's a whole nother bag of worms. And my aunt has actually done battle with this detective. And they've had the chief of police in Sedona actually call and apologize. I don't know, I got to get more of that story. But I have articles from the Red Rock News and this Dominguez says he read the case file, which consists of 400 pages more than once. First of all, my case file was only 176 pages. Why is even the Red Rock News is reporting that my mom's case file is 400 fucking pages? Where is my last 220? Where's my discovery? They're withholding information from me. It's fucked up. Okay. When reviewing it, he attempts to look at it through the eyes of an investigator in 1993, but then he uses his skills and training to fill in any blanks. I love that they're saying that they're using their skills and training to fill in these blanks because it's 2020, and they could clearly, if they wanted to go in there, they could prove with reenactments that my mother never actually shot this gun. I'm getting ahead of myself, I know, because I'm upset. Let me go back. The whole reason why, November, this guy that's quoted in the newspapers of the Red Rock News for my mom's, he's the investigator, right? Is no longer the investigator. Like, why? So he let me know that he was no longer involved in my mom's case. Basically, I want to like put my phone down. Yeah, I had to do that for him. He just washed his hands of me and basically my mom's case. Shrug off. Here's the new detective's info, Sergeant Leon. Okay, let's do another round. We got Sergeant Leon's information now. I give her a fucking nice little email jingle. It's around Thanksgiving. She doesn't get back to me till after Thanksgiving. Yeah, my correspondences with her are very brief as well. She got back to me right after Thanksgiving, let me know. This is Thanksgiving 2020. Let me know. I've been meaning to reach out to you. Something to that effect. And I love that she says she's been meaning to reach out to me. It took me 5 months to track her down through 2 detectives. I love that she's meaning to talk to me, though. That's how she opened it. She was meaning to talk to me, and she had some questions, but I already answered them. I already answered her questions. I didn't even know I was such a thorough detective. Give me a fucking badge. Oh, this woman's got me lit. Okay, I answered your questions. So basically, she wanted to know if I heard anything. I let her know that I was sleeping. I am 100% honest that when I was 10, at 11 o'clock, I said goodnight to my mom. I went to bed. I was 10, was afraid of the dark. The doors were open. I should have heard something. Why didn't I hear anything is the question. Maybe because the perpetrator premeditated this. I had a dog that was an inside dog. We didn't have a fenced yard. The dog had to be walked. The dog was inside with me at 11 o'clock. Love my dog. Dog was inside. In Sedona, we had a house. It was originally 2-bedroom. Now, mind you, the parents had one room. My little sister had the other. They converted the garage into a bedroom for me. I loved it. I was 10. I thought it was fucking dope. I had an outside door, the attic hatch. Fuck yeah. Okay, so my bedroom door was open, which would lead to the laundry room, okay? And then we're in the laundry room hall. Immediately this way is the door into the kitchen. So I had 2 doors that were closed on me. Those doors were open when I went to bed at 11. The cops had to open them to come and find me. And my dog wasn't in the house. What? Why wasn't my dog in the house? The dog never went outside without me. Russell knew that. I fucking walked her before I went to bed. The dog was gone. The police never even seemed interested in asking about the dog. Where's the dog? Well, why did you put the dog outside? Well, that's premeditation, because he knows the dog would have either barked or attacked him, because that dog would have done anything for me, my mom, and my sister. It is so fucked up, guys. It goes so deep, and I've only gotten the tip of the iceberg. We're only through like November of 2020, and I'm giving me flashbacks too. I'm literally writing a book. I'm literally writing when all this started happening again. I literally started writing what I remember, and like the subsequent like investigation, like what I'm having to go through right now. I'm in the witness protection program. This is not fucking funny. I'm not in the federal witness protection program. I'm in like a family get me the fuck out friends situation, because the guy that murdered my mother, Russell Bennett Peterson, lived 10 miles from me in Phoenix. I didn't know that till I started researching this, and I got his address. I had clients that were within a mile of him. I could have ran into him. And now that I'm out like getting like people to look like, hey, he fucking killed my mother, I had to get out. So I'm 700 miles away. That's why I'm like working so diligently on this. And the cops that are assigned to my mom's case don't seem to care, so I gotta plug in. I'm running out of juice. My phone, not me, trust me. This is gonna keep me going forever. So now we've gotten up to the fact that my mom's case has been transferred to a Sergeant Leon. She doesn't want to talk to me. I already answered her questions, right? All right. That pissed me off. So this was right after Thanksgiving 2020. I'm fucking mad. Another fucking person doesn't want to do this. I'll do it. You know, my aunt tried for 20 fucking 8 years. Tag, I'm in. I was ready. Sort of. So I got a little salty emailing the detective back. And I let her know, okay, so if nothing's going on and you're not really pursuing it, clearly, I'm like, I want the case file. She's let me know. Just go to the county clerks and look at your case file. Okay, cool. The nicest person I talked to in the Sedona PD were the Sedona County clerks. They walked me through like filling out how to request this. I had no idea what I was doing. She let me know once she saw the case file. It was 100 and something pages, which I love that the Red Rock News is reporting that the case file is 400 pages. Where's my missing pages? Anyway, they were very nice. They let me know that they're going to waive the fee, because I guess there's a fee or whatever. They let me know that because it was such a large case file, that it was going to need to be redacted. Okay. No problem. I remember I requested it we're in Christmas of 2020 now. I remember that I requested the case file. I didn't actually get the case file until January 14th of 2021. I know that because I've had to email that case file many times. So around the time I'm corresponding with Miss Lady, who won't do her fucking job, I let her know, because I was mad. I want the case file. I'm going to give it to the journalist. The journalist is going to have a nice little look at that. Now, right now I'm bluffing. 100% bluffing. Now, when I say journalist, what I actually had, I tend to be an exaggerator. What I actually had was a girl that goes to like U of A for documentary, like filmmaking, for making documentaries, like Making a Murderer and The Stairs and The Jinx. She's literally going to school for that. And I think she followed my pet sitting business, and that's how she found me. But I'm literally bitching on Facebook, social media, at around Christmas time last year, about a year ago, about how my life could be a fucking movie. I need a film crew to follow me around. It's a jest. I'm just joking. And she sends me a message, and she lets me know that she's a film student, and she wants to do a piece on me and my mom. And I was like, oh my God, yes! And she kind of like wanted me to request the case file. And that's like, I was equally mad with Miss Lady. Remember Miss Lady Detective Sergeant Leon? That's the only thing she's probably good at. I'm doing her job better than her. Anyway, I hate that woman. It's my blood pressure going. So, this film student, between the film student kind of giving me the nudge and Miss Lady giving me the push off, I was like, okay, we're going to do this. So that's when I kind of was like, well, I'm going to need that for the journalist. Like, all up on myself. Totally up on myself. Long story short, it took several weeks, right? The film student was a student. This was just a project to her. Mind you, this is not just going to be like a little 8-week like picture project. Like, this is my mother's life in a 28-year investigation that has gone somewhere wrong down the road. We'll figure that out. So the film student isn't pressuring me. I got nobody really pressuring me to print off this case file. It is now January 2021. I knew it was there in my email. And I'm going through like currently I'm not even in the relationship I was in January. I was going through, we were together 5 years too. It was like in the middle of a breakup. It was at the end of a relationship. It was like my mom showed me that this wasn't the person for me. Because as I'm trying to research this, he would tell me, nobody cares about your mom's cold case. And literally it was like my mother telling me that this guy was not for me. And I was so in love with him. If it hadn't been for him, like, he kicked shit all over my life and I believed it. And I probably would have ate it forever, but like, you don't kick shit on my mama. That is the only thing that made me grow balls to leave him. I didn't have the balls to look at what happened to my mom. I didn't read any of this as a kid. This happened when I was 10. I'm sorry. This has been so much. And I'm so emotional. February 2021 comes and goes. I don't print it. March, April, May, June, July. Her death anniversary, July 9th. My birthday is July 26th. My July every year is hard. I still wasn't ready in July. August comes. And the only reason I even printed it at the end of August was because that film student's back, right? She's back. And she's got a room and shit on the project. And I was like, I've got the case file now. And she was like, great. Wait till I get there and I'll document you opening it. And which is like, she's got pictures out there of like, because she came with like just still photography. For some reason I thought she was gonna have like a camera, but she just came with like a still camera and she was just taking like frames. But I remember printing off the case file that day, and it prints. I didn't think about it so long, but it printed off backwards. So I'm sitting there, my printer's going off, and I pick up the first page and I'm reading it, and it's the supplement report where it sits like as of right then, and then at the end of it, it just gives the heavy shit, the toxicology and the autopsy. Like 5 pages in was my mom's autopsy report. And she caught that on camera. I've never seen those pictures. I don't even know if I want to see them. It was a rough day for me because I was kind of like forced to take the Band-Aid off after so many years of not wanting to read about what happened to my mom. And just knowing what I remember and what my family's always said. And I was forced to, because I wanted to do something about it, but I wasn't ready. But I had to be, because this film student only had a certain amount of time. Clearly she wasn't there for very long, and she wasn't there for me reading it the first time in August and September. She left that day. I think it was like August 25th or 28th or something. And it's so funny how it runs parallel to the Gabby Petito case, and I'll tell you why too. About the same time that Gabby Petito is dying in the Tetons, on like August 27th, or around that time, like, that's when the film student was there, and I was looking at my mom's case file for the first time. And I was an avid news watcher. I'm jumping ahead. Anyway, she left that day after taking a few pictures, and I didn't read much. I waited for it to print off, and after she left, I remember it was August in Phoenix, and it's fucking hot. So I had the shades, it was dark, and I had the candles going. I'm like, I meditated, and I went back there, and like, guys, like, I'm 40, and this happened when I was 10. I've done so many drugs since then. Like, I've purposely, like, bendered because I don't want to think about this shit. And I sat there, and I went back there, and I haven't been able to leave. I remember everything so vividly now. The night terrors and the nightmares have been unreal since September. Anyway, that's when I really started. I'm not even reading the comments, you guys. I'm so sorry. I'll look at all those later, but I'm just trying to this is just for me to because I can't make another TikTok on this tonight, and I know I can't give up on it. I can't not watch. I can't. Just tell your story. It took a couple weeks to get through this, and it's only 176 pages, but it's hard because he says stuff like it had hollow point bullets, Italian bullets in it, and she goes into the bedroom. When she comes back out, she has the gun in her hand, and she cocks it back, and she goes, "Russell, I'm going to shoot you." And I put my hands up and said, "Steph, why? What are you talking about?" And I don't think her intentions truly were to shoot me, as opposed to maybe a fright tactic. What did you think at that point in time? I mean, do you think she's just screwing around? Or do you think, what is going on here? Or you tell me what your state of mind is. Answer: no, I've been with her for 6 years. Question: uh-huh. Answer: okay, so I kind of felt that she was screwing around, maybe a little more than screwing around, because it's been sitting up there untouched, and now she goes and picks it up. I read. It took me a while to read this, because it's just lie after lie after lie to save his own life. Why would my mom even touch a gun? First of all, my father that was with my mother for a long time was a big gun owner. My mom would never touch a gun, wouldn't go shooting. Not a gun person. It's just lie after lie. So it took me several weeks. And while I'm reading this actively, after 20-something years, I actively print this motherfucker off, and I'm reading it. And I'm an avid CNN. I will sit here and I will suck up hours of just CNN. Don't judge. Don't judge Judy. But I'll just watch it. Background noise. And about the time that I'm finishing this cocksucker's binder of lies, around September 11th, that's when CNN will report, Gabby Petito went missing. And just like the rest of the world, I was like, what the fuck happened to Gabby Petito? She went missing in the Tetons. Guess what? Before my sister was born, I lived with my mother and Russell in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, in the fucking Tetons. It was just the dates for the date that I decided to open this, the date Gabby died, and then finishing it about the time she went missing. And then her being in, I don't know, maybe I'm looking for stuff, but I felt a connection to Gabby Petito. And at the same time, I'm going through this bad relationship, right? And I'm going to be 100% honest. At this time, I was heavily into drugs. My boyfriend got me on methamphetamine. I had been sober from 19 until 21. I was sober 15, more than that, almost 20 fucking years, until my ex, my man at the time, decided to bring home some G. And then all of a sudden, he kept bringing it home, and I'm in a 3-year spell with him, and I couldn't get out. And it was literally between my mom and Gabby Petito, I got the strength to fucking, I finally had something, because I only had Dustin, and the person that you depend on keeps bringing it. You're gonna say no if they keep doing it. It's hard. And finally, I got the balls to fuck you. I got out of the purpose, and I got sober. I'm 133 days clean, and I'm out of that relationship, and I'm in another state, and I'm doing my mom's case, and I'm in the witness protection deal, and I'm good. Physically. Now I just need to work with the mess that's up here that Russell has left for the last 29 years, and that starts with putting him behind bars. So I know I went off on a tangent, but the whole reason I told you this is because of the Gabby Petito connection. She literally got me out of a bad relationship, and she jump-started this with my mom. And so here I am 2 weeks later in the witness protection program, sobbing and telling you about the first couple weeks and what it was like sobering up, living what your mom lived through and reading it, surreal. If there's nothing that could sober you up like that, oh my God. If you have a drug problem and you had a parent that was dead, just get their case file. That'll sober you up. Jokes aside, I got very into this. Okay, I became very invested. So September goes through. I don't know what the fuck to do though. Like literally, I don't know what to do. I just know that I'm reading it. I know that it's the first step. I'm reading what happened to my mom. I don't know what to do about it because my aunt spent a decade, 2 decades, almost 3, trying to do something about it. And the Sedona PD wouldn't listen to her. Why are they going to listen to me? Watching all the coverage on, this all has a point. It's funny. It all has a point. I'm watching all the coverage on Gabby Petito. CNN's not going fast enough for me. Dustin, my boyfriend at the time, always seems to know what's going on first because he's on YouTube. I would never give YouTube any platform because anybody can put anything on there. I need to be triple vetted. I'm like, is that your source? I'm one of those. When it was coming to Gabby Petito, I didn't care if it was bad. I want to know it. I want to know it right then. I'm like, fuck it. I want to know right now. I don't even care if it's been triple vetted. I don't care if it's not true. I went down the rabbit hole. Like, I definitely did not believe that he was hidden in the flower bed. Like some people thought that he was in the I want one of those. Ridiculous, I know. Anyway, I don't know what I'm gonna do on Mom's case, but I get really into this YouTube channel. It's called Popcorn Planet. And I'm like, I really like this guy. He can run news and they're going over cold cases and stuff. And I'm like, I get this crazy idea. Literally get this crazy idea. I'm like, I'm going to start a YouTube channel. So I literally just take the case file, guys. Kind of like what I'm doing now. Now it's because I'm therapeutic, but then I didn't know what I was doing. And I just take the case file and I just start reading on my YouTube channel. I don't know what the fuck to do. And I'm basically like reading, other people have got to see this, right? I take like a couple pages at a time. Every day I work on it. And I'm asking people like, does anybody know anybody? I need help. And so that constituted most of September and October, my YouTube channel, right? In October, that was about the time that Dustin's really drilling down me that nobody wants to hear about your mom's cold case. Nobody cares about your mom's cold case. He just loves to shove it down my throat that nobody cares about your mom. That gets me more passionate. Don't tell me that I can't do something or nobody cares about my mom. I will make fucking people care that you don't tell me nothing. So I get mad. And I remember that I had just watched a fucking special on Summer Wells, and it was Dr. Phil. And for some reason, I was like, I'm going to write to Dr. Phil. I thought Dr. Phil was going to help me. I was like, oh, praise Jesus, I'm going to be a YouTube star, and Dr. Phil is going to help me solve my case. Dustin told me, you're wasting your time. Don't email Dr. Phil. And I was like, again, don't tell me what to do. Fuck you. So what do? I go out there, I make a YouTube video, and I email Dr. Phil. And I basically call out Dustin, and I tell the world, I'm like, even my own boyfriend doesn't stand behind me with this, and basically telling me nobody cares about my mom's cold case. And I go, that can't possibly be. There's got to be people out there that care. And so I post that on a, people helping each other page, like a community page for Phoenix, for my local Phoenix. And lo and behold, that afternoon, the same morning, the afternoon of the morning that Dustin told me that nobody cares about my mom's cold case, a reporter from ABC 15, Ashley K. Perez, touched base with me. And she says she felt compelled to reach out to me and blah, 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 blah. And that she had she had a case already. She was investigating a case with the Yavapai District's Attorney's Office and how they wouldn't release an autopsy report to a family member. And I was like, I knew it had to be higher up than the Sedona PD. Because it's got to be the Yavapai District Attorney's Office. It's them that decides whether there's enough evidence to prosecute, right? I knew the breakdown had to be somewhere there. It had to be higher than just the cops that responded to the scene. Lo and behold, this reporter's already investigating the Yavapai District's Attorney's Office and wants to get the deets on my mom's case because it will be involved with the Yavapai District's Attorney's Office. Go figure. I don't care why she's doing it, guys. I'm like, she's an award-winning journalist. Ashley K. Perez, ABC 15 in Phoenix. I'm like, first of all, I'm rubbing it in Dustin's face. I'm like, look, nobody does care. It's a journalist. It's a local journalist. She's an award-winning journalist, so suck it, motherfucker. In a nicer way. He didn't say nothing. I went back to my room. I made a YouTube video on it. I was elated. She eventually calls me the next day. I sit down. I talk to her. She let me know, like, she wants to help. And I remember her bringing up, have you heard of Sarah Turney? Have you talked to Sarah Turney? I remember it was either one of those questions. And have you been on Sarah Turney and TikTok? I remember she had to have put the name with TikTok together. She had to have, in order for me to be like, meh. Because I remember in my mind, Sarah Turney, the name click. Like, oh, that name clicks. But then she said TikTok. Now, I'm 40. I had just learned how to do YouTube. Just. TikTok for kids. TikTok, I'm not dancing in my bathroom. That's what I saw TikTok as. I didn't see TikTok as a tool. I didn't see TikTok as anything but play, folly. For some reason, I thought YouTube was going to help me. Joke's on me. Remember the journalist bringing up Sarah Turney and TikTok, and me like, and a month goes by, and I'm still doing my YouTube videos, and the journalist had, she told me to get a list of hard questions together for Sedona PD, which I did, and I emailed to her, and she had emailed questions to that Miss Lady Bitch, Sergeant Leon. Now I've got the journalist going after her. Fuck her, she don't want to answer me. She can fucking have the journalist chasing her ass. I set the journalist on her, and I gave the journalist the questions I wanted to know, and the journalist had sent those over, as far as I've known, round around Thanksgiving 2021. It is now almost Valentine's Day now, and I still have not heard back from my journalist, even though I did see around Christmas time she posted pictures of herself hiking in Sedona. Why would she be in Sedona if she didn't have like a story that she was working on? And around the same time, like I asked, this is about a month ago now, have you heard anything about my mom's case? She has like ghosted me, which makes me like very upset that she fucking ghosted me. Like I thought this journalist was going to help me. And she had mentioned this Sarah Turney to me. This is come back to the Sarah Turney thing. Remember Sarah Turney? So I'm pissy about this fucking journalist now ghosting me. Host invites you to go live together. I don't know what that means. Oh, I'm talking about something really important. Hi, I don't know who you are. I've never done it.
Hi. That's good.
Hi, I'm talking about my mom's cold case. I'm not really sure why you're here, but hey, I'm just kind of talking. You want to just hang in there?
Yes. Is this English?
Yes, English.
No yes. English? Is this my first dari English small?
Oh, just English small. Okay, yeah, lots of English because I'm talking about my mom's cold case.
Yes. Is this the single?
Well, I'm right in the middle of a monologue. I'm right in the middle of like a big, like hour-long monologue. So I'm gonna let you go, but we can do this again, okay? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know how to make you go away now. Shit.
That's okay. Is this the single?
I don't even know how to make you go away. Fuck.
Going mang sakabe, pagawin mang prigda. Is this the single?
Just a single, huh? This is the first time I've ever gone live. Maybe I should have done that while I was like talking to people.
Was good.
Good.
Is it what is your name?
My name is Nikki.
Nikki.
Yeah. Connected. Sorry. I don't know what that was about. I got my blood pressure going. I was like, oh, English. Oh, yes, lots of English here. I'm talking about my mother's death. I forgot where I was. That rattled me a little. The journalist. I got a journalist on my mom's case. The journalist is like ghosted me. I went into the witness protection program. Not the federal, just a family-run witness protection program. I'm literally 700 miles away, and the journalist has ghosted me. Anyway, this all has a point. Again, Sarah Turney. Did you remember Sarah Turney? Okay. I am working hard on my YouTubes. It had to be around right after Thanksgiving. It was December. I haven't even had a TikTok for 2 months yet. Okay, I'm talking to my best friend. He's letting me know he wants to do a website for my mom, like Justice for Stacy. I was like, yes, because he built my business website for my pet sitting. Great, Brett. And he's just kind of like bantering, like letting me know like how he can help. And I'm like, yeah, help me in any way. He's like, this is when he goes, have you talked to Sarah Turney? I was like, my head went, because I did that click thing. I was like, there's that name again, click. And I know that name. And Brett just said that. He goes, you remember her? She worked with us at Fridays. And I was like, oh my God. Yeah. Sarah Turney. She did like a short spell at like, I did years with Brett at TGI Fridays, Desert Ridge in Phoenix, like 5 years there. And I remember she was there for a while, only like a year, but I remember I liked her, but she was one of those come and go. You know, you got the lifers and you got the come and goes. She was a come and go. I was definitely a lifer. And he goes, she got her sister's case solved, her sister's cold case solved, and now she's on TikTok. And I was like, first of all, Brett's mentioning a woman that we know. This is the same woman that the award-winning journalist had told me to touch base with. So now I've got 2 people telling me to touch base with this Sarah Turney. Okay, oh my God. I look her up. Sure enough, she is the chick that worked with us at Fridays. But in the decades since I kind of lost base with her, she's taken up like this whole crime podcast. Like, she got her fucking sister's cold case solved. She always knew that it was her father that killed her older sister. Never found her body. It still amazes me that she got justice and they never found the body. And here it is. My mom's case is so simple. It's a domestic fucking altercation. The boyfriend is clearly involved, clearly at fault. Why he never spent a day in jail is beyond me. But we can't figure that out. The Sedona PD doesn't want to help me put this man away that did this. But yet, this other girl, Sarah Turney, can get her father put away and there's no fucking body. It just blows me away by the lack of policing that the Sedona PD has given to my mother. Just the pure lack of respect. Anyway, Sarah Turney, she's like this fucking knight in shining armor for voices of the deceased. She has 1 million followers on TikTok. I'm like, holy fuck, I know this chick. Holy fuck, maybe I can get some fucking help now. Holy fuck. Holy fuck. Holy fuck. I get on Facebook. I fucking send her a message. She messages me back. And she was like, oh my God, girl, we didn't talk about this. I know I didn't talk about my sister much when I worked there. And I was like, I was in my 20s. I tried to block it all out. I was too busy drinking and drugging. I didn't care. I fucking care now. And the fact that I just found somebody that the journalist and my best friend told me to touch base with and it just feels like everything is falling into place. Does it not feel like it? It certainly did to me. And she's like, I'm going to tell you how I went viral with my sister. TikTok. And I was like, no. She was like, I know you don't like TikTok, but literally I went viral overnight with my sister's story. And that's how like I got out there and the reporters were able to help her and shit. So I was like, I just figured out YouTube. TikTok. So I downloaded TikTok like the first week of December. I know what the fuck I was doing. It's fancy. I just figured out YouTube. So I started with one picture, a picture of my mom, and I put a caption of it. This is the house that my mother lost her life in. It was her in front of the house. I set it to some music. Bam. It got 200 views. That gave me enthusiasm. So then if you go through all my TikToks, you'll see my earlier ones are just slideshows of my mom's pictures. I didn't know what I was doing. And then I figured out how to green screen. And that's when I got the momentum going. So for this whole last month, I've been green screening any kind of picture I have of her death certificate, the autopsy report, the toxicology report, any kind of official looking paper, anything that I can tell a story about to get my mom's name and case out there, because basically that's what Sarah told me to do. That's what the journalist told me to do. There's going to be nobody to advocate for your loved one like you. Clearly the cops don't care. Like I saw it, that I was going to have to do this last year when Miss Lady, the detective lady, fucking shrugged me off. So I'm getting really good at my TikToks. I literally relocate my life because I'm getting good at my TikToks, and I'm thinking maybe somebody will start to listen. Maybe people will hear now. And I fucking moved for my safety. And here I am, 2 weeks here, and I'm running out of pictures of my mom. I'm running out of, like, paperwork. I'm running out of stuff to tell her story. But then I remembered, I'm not out of anything. You have 150 pages of his lies. So here I am, tonight. What did I do? I started going through the fucking stack of lies again, and I just had a breakdown, and I got through 2 pages. I green screened a whole 2 pages of his 3 fucking interrogations, and I lost it, and I was just about to read through this and do a 3rd page when I was like, you know what? I can't even, like, make sense of it to myself because I'm so upset. I just need to ramble and I need to talk. And I was like, I've never done the live button. And I just hit live. And I've just been talking now for like an hour. And I feel better. I feel better. So I know that I have content and I know that I still have stuff that I can actively post. But, like, I feel like I'm doing this alone because now I'm not even in the state where this happened. And the journalist has ghosted me. And so the only thing I could think of was to do this and reach out to my aunt. Now, my aunt is the younger sister of my mother. They were like this, like twins. And my aunt has known the truth for years. And around 2000, 2001, I would be in 21. My aunt introduced me to methamphetamine. It happened. Not proud of it. She's not proud of it. And because of it, I stopped talking to her for the better part of now 20 years. I mean, I got clean and sober off that bender. Was sober for fucking 15 years, and then Dustin got me back on it. I'm just literally 133 days clean. I'm proud of it. I have nothing to hide. I'm not ashamed of it. My boyfriend kept bringing it home. Not my fault. I mean, it was my fault I kept doing it, but I finally said enough was enough, and he's relapsed. God only knows what's happened to him. I don't know. I'm not there anymore. I'm not with him. I don't care. I do care, but the point is that it's been a salty bridge with my aunt and I because I had lost my mom. My aunt was like my mom figure to me, and I remember the first time we had done it together, she even said, if your mom could see this, she'd be turning in her grave. And being an adult and seeing it now, like, I'm so disappointed in her and her life's choices and for putting her daughters, not just me. She introduced the younger one years later to the same drug. Super sick. Super not something I'm proud of. Super something that I don't want to fucking talk about, but I will write about in the memoir. Like, it's written about in the book. I will hide nothing. So I have not wanted to talk to my aunt because of this. I figure that the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So the Sedona PD, the Yavapai District Attorney's Office, the Red Rock News, and Russell Peterson are the real enemy here. And my aunt and I are actually on the same side, and I just need to get over her weaknesses and my weaknesses. We both suffered trauma. She became a street agoraphobic after my mom died for several years, and then she turned to drugs. And this has been her crutch for... Anyway. Before moving to Texas, I just started talking to her again, and I basically was like, why did I start talking to her again? TikTok. She found my TikToks, guys. There's a Wendy Waslution liking my videos, following all my mom's stuff. I was like, and it turned out to be my aunt. TikTok has been amazing, and I talk shit about it for so long. I'm so ashamed of myself. I ate some Mad Crow on that one. Anyway, before I left Phoenix about 3 weeks ago, she had been following but I hadn't reached out to her. Like, she was just watching what I was doing on the case. And then finally, with the journalist ghosting me and knowing I'm moving, I was like, I want to know what my aunt knows. She's been investigating this for decades. I've only really been on it for 6 months. Really, like, hardcore. So I want to know, because there was 2 911 calls. The first 911 call was placed at around 1:15 when my neighbors heard gunshots. The perpetrator, Russell Bennett Peterson, did not call 911 until 1:40. 25 minutes later. You will see that in the 911 transcripts. There is a 25-minute window. How did they account for that? Not only that, if they subpoena the house phone records from that house for those nights, that night, the 8th and the early mornings of the 9th, they will see that my mom had called my Aunt Wendy for multiple hours, telling my aunt that she'd already talked to Craig, my dad, she was leaving Russell. It was all planned that very night. Because it was a Thursday, the next day was Friday. Friday, Russell was getting on a jet plane, and he was going across the country to New York for a culinary event. Go figure, the weekend he's leaving, my mom finalizes plans to get the fuck out while he's gone. She was dodging. She made those plans with my dad and my aunt. 2 people know the motive. Cops don't even touch it. Even like reading through this, the suspect, the perpetrator, brings up my father's name over and over and over again, like a nervous tick. I need to actually count how many times the perpetrator talks about my dad. He could not speak English. He was Afghan. Oh, good to know. Apparently that guy was Afghan that like popped in. I didn't speak a word of Afghan, sorry. Poquito Español, sprechen die Deutsch. Pretty much English. I need to stick with the fucking English because, like, talking about my mom's death here and the fact that her perpetrator keeps talking about my dad. It's just so sus. The night that this was decided that she was leaving is the night she ends up dead. Now, the perpetrator lies, and he says that my mom got the gun first. Why ever she would grab a gun is beyond me. She was leaving. It's ridiculous. The lack of policing. Now, why? Why are the police not really interested in this? Why are they going with this outlandish theory when it's so set and dry? They're literally fabricating this harder narrative in order to let Russell walk. Why would you do that? Get anything done with enough of this. And guess what? Russell's family had a lot of this. A lot of money. A lot of money. He was very well off, his family. My mother's family, not so much. Drug addicts, whatever. Basically, it's victim shaming and victim blaming if you go through this. It's how horrible my mom was, how mean she was. Why was she mean? Nobody's purposely mean for no reason. Probably because she was in a really bad relationship. She was doing his job and hers. They both worked together at the same place, so they interview all of the coworkers. Oh, it's so slanderous. Victim shaming. It's disgusting. It gets me upset, which is why I sit here and I ramble to nobody, to you, to nobody though, at 2 o'clock in the morning when my dogs and my boyfriend are sleeping. I feel better. I got out a lot of what I need to get out because doing these TikToks on his lies are rough. I only got the balls to get through 2, and just wait till I get to the ones pages where he keeps bringing up my dad. I will go through every page of this. Every page. Until somebody fucking listens. I think the people that are listening, I think at one time I had 7 whole people watching. I don't know. At one time I was crying so much I didn't even look. I'm getting the whole used to the live thing. There's sometimes when I click on people going live and all they really do is, I don't know, they really don't talk about anything in specific. Like, I have a purpose. I'm not here to just like show my ugly face. Like, I'm investigating my mother's cold case murder and I shouldn't have to be doing this. I shouldn't have to be. And it's sad that this is what it comes down to. It comes down to the victims' families doing something or nothing gets done. I've watched so many cold case files and American Justice and true crime. I could fucking puke. I could be a fucking detective. I know I could do a better job than Sergeant Leone. So, my angle now, since I've been relocated, is to just keep doing this, to keep blasting his name out there. Tell the world that Russell Bennett Peterson was a jealous little man, that instead of letting his woman go, he decided to kill her. I think it had to do with his kid, because she was leaving and she was taking my sister, which was his kid. And she was taking his kid to my father. And my father and Russell, my father beat the shit out of Russell several times. Made Russell piss himself. Dad loves to tell that story about when he made Russell pee himself. So I like to tell it too. My father, Craig Daly, made Russell Bennett Peterson piss himself in fear, because my dad beat the shit out of Russell so many times. Because he's a weaselly little man, and he couldn't get his dick up, which was why my mom was so unhappy. Why I know that, I shouldn't know that, but my aunt let me know. At the time, I did not know. Now that I'm older and I know a lot of the context, it's disgusting that the police neglected to just look the other way. Just look the other way. They took Russell's story, and that's it. I asked my aunt about the phone records. Does she have phone records? Because I can pin him right there, because he called other people before he called 911. How do you possibly explain why you called your dad before you called 911? My mom could have. She's in there dying. What if he had fucking picked up the phone right after he realized what happened and called 911 right then? Could she have lived? They were hollow point bullets, remember? Whole back of her head was blown out. It's so ridiculous. Where the gun is positioned. She had no gunpowder residue on her right hand. Gunpowder residue was only present on the palm of her left hand and the webbing of the left hand. Why would that happen? That would happen either if you were holding the weapon with your left hand, which is a 44 Magnum Ruger Red Hawk, which once I did research on the gun that killed my mother, it's a 3-pound weapon. I mean, I don't know, ladies, my mom was 138 pounds. I don't know if you've picked up anything around your house that's 3 pounds. 3 pounds doesn't sound like a lot, right? Until you actually, pick it up, and then pick it up in your non-dominant hand, because my mom was right-handed. Pick up that heavy object in your left hand, holding it only with your left hand, acting like a gun. Does that feel awkward to you? Well, it should, because that's not how people, traditionally shoot weapons. Not only that, it's called a dirty, hairy gun. The 44 Magnum is the bullet. It's like a bear killing ammunition. It takes down great, big. It's ridiculous. This gun is huge. My mom did not like guns. Small hand, small stature. And they're trying to say that she shot off because Russell says that she grabbed the gun first. Again, no gunpowder residue present on her right hand, right-handed. But there is on her left, because she shot at him and then shot herself. She shot herself. Bullet went in through here at an angle and out the back of her head, okay? When you traditionally shoot yourself, temple, mouth, chin. You don't put the gun. Would you do that? I've done this so many times. I've reenacted this so many times. Would you do that here if you were to shoot yourself? Because that's what he said happened. It didn't happen. It's debunked. I debunked it.